I didn't. I was busy. So here we are. Yay. Hi, everybody. My hair is kind of like on a wild game show here. It wants to do. I've been working on my my DNA healing things, and I've been pulling more energy about goddess hair and things like that. So I'm just letting it do whatever it wants to do. I wanted to do a part 2 of Recombination because the things that I did miss, I didn't get the channeling, and just have a bit of a casual spiritual check-in. We're going to talk to Spirit, see if there's any messages, just a real casual. I wanted to do something a bit more fun and more chill because I'm always teacher-like. Got to be the teacher. My kids always say, Mom, can you stop being teacher for a while? Hi, sweetheart. Hello, precious. And so I wanted to, I don't know if my phone is going to stand up, so I don't know. I wanted to finish off some of the recombination because there was some really important things that I didn't get in. I wanted to talk about our beliefs. Oh, there must be somebody on the line that has some throat chakra issues. So we're going to work on the throat chakra today. So welcome, everybody. So nice to see you. We're going to talk combination and our entrainment to just kind of surrender ourselves to disease and heredity, things which we don't have to. They were showing me the other night that many of our dementias that we've called Alzheimer's and things like that, that are now defining themselves as hereditary and inheritance, and it's really not, it's just adaptation to low vibrational experiences that we're not entraining ourselves into higher light bodies. And so we'll find out that most, obviously, because many of us that have been on the path of ascension for a while, we know that in 5D there'll be no disease because our bodies will be purely aligned with light, and we're going to be harmonizing more and more the matter body as light. And so really getting into the habit of every day claiming that, knowing that you have ultimate commandmentship over everything that you are as a multi-vibrational being, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and sexual, and then really start working with your cells every day so that you're entraining a higher vibrational light. Because the recombination is just like replicating itself into its last cycle of what it was. So if you're not entraining these new cycles, if you're not entraining the new breath of life to come in and be new within your body, within your heart and soul. I always do my healing sessions. I always do my healing sessions from the very center of my being. I call all my consciousness into the center of my being. So if you want to book a healing session to understand how to do nighttime healing, and just start reprogramming all that you are as a multi-vibrational being. So Cluedo, if you just noticed there was 20 people that just logged on at the same time, those are most likely the cults and the beings that do the thing in the chat room. So feel free to knock anybody off. You always know they always come on as group money. And so so that's what we wanted to talk about, is just understanding that you're entraining yourself in every day. If you do it daily, then you're entraining your systems with new commandmentship. Your cells do listen to you. The cells of your organs listen to you. Your organs listen to you. How your organs operate, how your body operates. All of the systems within your bodies operate together. And so you're in control of now harmonizing to a new vibrational standard of light. So it's really important to know that every new day is a new cycle, and you can start returning and repairing youthfulness. You can start repairing, old vibrational beliefs about what you thought you had to take on and what you didn't. Hereditary and inheritance diseases, we can change and we can alter the coding, and it's just a matter of recoding what you were thought, told, and shown. And it is really the replication of light going back into new cycles. So whether it's light replicating into organ functioning, light replicating into the brain, and a lot of the calcium that is in the brain and how it functions, especially in the synaptic areas. The synaptic areas are really important, and they've known the last couple of years for dementia and Alzheimer's clients, the calcium deposits and the darkening that's at the end of the synapses and slowly cut the synapses off. So it's important for either one of us to, really press forward the synaptic pathways. But again, it's how we entrain ourselves. So, watch videos you're not used to watching, watch, the biology and quantum physics, and also too, there's lots of great puzzles that you can get online. So your online stuff is really, you can do that with your We're going to be changing all of our technology too to be a lot more conscious, creative, because our light ship and our star families, all of their light ships and all of their technology is through consciousness. They manifest everything through their consciousness. They manifest everything through their unity with oneness as source, creator, light. And so their light ships are 100% consciously made and driven. And so thus then all of our technology that we have can absolutely serve our consciousness. It can serve us in how we create our health. It can serve us in how we teach and create light. Thank you, Cluedo. Thank you, sweetheart. So they're just doing it just, get under my skin because it's what they do. But I'm really loving my hair today. And I got a new lip gloss too. Does anybody want to see my lip gloss? I love my new lip gloss. It's like little goldy. It's very, very subtle. I love it. And so we wanted to do just a little fun session, just really casual and fun. So the recombination we wanted to talk about because we want people to talk, thinking in a higher vibrational way about what is really adaptation. And we see it all over the place. I had a download about 3 or 4 months ago about the shifts and changes with the debauchery that's happened in the underground because of the unhealed divine masculine energies and really suppressing their sexual exploration and their 3 E's, and has created a dark underground. And because divine feminine have not been, because nobody's taught or shown any of the collective how to heal beyond woundings. So in that, it's created a big adaptation of unknowingness and confusion. It's created a lot of shifts and changes in how we relate to one another socially. I was just reading an article about the changes in social relationships and how so many people are choosing polygamy now with a lot of borders and boundaries. There's very few that are choosing one-on-one relationship because there is so much unhealed experiences and they don't want to be held to that communion with one another. And so there's going to be a lot of healing that we're going to be doing and seeing. The damages of polygamy type of communities I see into the energy. There's very few, obviously. If you're a very consciously aware person and you're actually doing your daily ascension work and you're actually working on your path work, physical and spiritual, you can go into those situations with others that are equally, and that would be if you're all in agreement. But most often than not, 84%, they're showing me 84% of polygamy relationships, they're not doing any part of they're not doing any part of self-ownership or self-accountability, and they're holding some things back from the partners. And so therefore, then there's going to be erosion and there's going to be corruption. And so, of course, I experienced the very extreme of it where it was all lies and defamation, all harvesting and, really gross, disgusting things. And I didn't even have anything to do with it. I was gone by that time, but they were still all using G. And so I'm so happy that the past is all done and over with and the door closed. So now I'm moving on to new experiences. I'm so happy. There's going to be a lot come out of spirits, just an update on energy of the collective. There's going to be a lot coming of secret societies that are going to be charged in many the criminal activities and how they were being paid, and many, because everybody's scapegoating each other, there's going to be a lot of great information of the secret societies telling the collective exactly what's on. And so it's really important that we speak out on secret society abuse. It's really important we talk out about dark occult abuse, covens and cult abuses. If we're not expressing it and talking about it, you're suppressing the energies, and it will be a manifestation of a disease or an illness. So it's important that we have to talk about it for the expression factor, as well as many of the community they were showing me as well. These are some of the upgrades that I'll be a part of. They're showing me that some people are putting together some offers for assistance with policing and judicial to assist in rewriting some systematic abuse laws and some dark occult abuse laws, so that we do have some sort of a systematic flow of, first of all, aligning with the sacred Trinity, and then then having some sort of systems within the collective and within the communities so that we can approach these systematic abuses so they don't get as damaging and destructive that I went through, in which there was, many people being practiced on, being sacrificed sadist and things like that. And if they're doing sacrifices, it's premeditated, so they do have an intent to kill, and they practice on people. And so how okay is that when you're practicing to kill people, through your dark occult practices? And why is that not a crime as somebody that's holding a gun? And it's far more damaging to the children, because right now a lot of the secret societies are experiencing backfire, and there will be many of the people in the secret society that will move themselves out just because the backfire too monumental, because they've been doing it for decades, and they're not protected by the heavens. And so the only reason why I survived is my protection with the heavens and my work with them. So it's what I teach. Everything that I teach assists you in reclaiming your multidimensional bodies, your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and then harmonizing it with Metatronic light as you are, like light, so that we can harmonize into a 5D gateway. And that 5D gateway is releasing every church and state told and shown and taught to us, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And that is a lot to do with the medical that I've been coming up with and teaching, because that's what I teach in the Pleiades to the children. And so the secret societies are going to be coming out, and they will be bringing their versions of truth. And then there will be a higher awareness of the collective of what's really been going on. It all has to come out, so I'm really excited about it. There's going to be many in those elite positions that were, kind of fearful because of things that they've been hiding and doing. But it has to come forward. We have to be able to clear those energies, and we have to be able to align with higher vibrational that would never do such human abuse programs, to keep this from cycling, to keep higher vibrational light from entering into human collective. The human collective, our birthright is to be of light. Our birthright is to be the highest vibrational being that we can be, to generation after generation after generation, clear and cleanse karma, so that our children don't have any karma, and they can live freely and liberated in all that they are and all that they can be. Because every generation they're becoming more and more starseed, they're becoming more and more alien and galactic celestial energies, obviously, because this is our last 3D timeline. In 15 to 20 years, everything and all of our systems will be aligned within the sacred trinity, so that we can enter into the galactic playgrounds. And there are rules within the galactic, the galactic playgrounds will absolutely be watching all of us as we move about the earth in a higher liberated light way. And then there will be those that will be obviously dealt with when they're continually to abuse, as Putin left off some nuclear things this morning. He's such a very big boy, isn't he, doing his nuclear experiences, and we hope that he wakes up. And I'm sending light all the time, because it's crazy, nuclear. So let's just finish our little channel here about recombination, and then we wanted to talk about. Did I finish anything in the collective spirit talking about secret societies? Yeah, there's going to be a blanket request, they're saying. There's going to be a blanket request for all of those, as I say in all of my videos, to be particularly aware of the energies that you practice, everything that you do, and if it's not aligned with universal laws, it's returning. And the heavens have given enough warnings, and people have understood, basic human courtesy and basic human experiences. What you do is affecting everybody. The practices that you partake in definitely affects the children at home. It affects the matter in the home. It affects even the plants you have in the home. So if it affects the plants, it's affecting the children, and of course unborn fetuses. The dark occult is not meant to be used as a daily thing, and if you're doing it, it should only be done on you, because you don't have the right to interfere with anybody else's life, and that is the first universal law, right? Use of free will, non-interference, and then the law of balance. And so that law of balance is what everything, if the systems of light have to call in, excellence and give beings like myself, grandiose guides to walk with, then the heavens will do that, because I deserve to walk in my safety. I deserve to walk in who I am as a divine creator. I deserve to have my voice as divine feminine, however divine feminine chooses to express herself in the love that she has for the planet and all nature and all beings. So I'm really excited that all the doors from the past are closed. They're just finishing up the closing, the closing, I don't know what they call them, closing statements, I think, in the various court cases. And there's a lot of evidence, so much evidence that has been mounting on the many, many years of deceit and lies and the universal withholding truth of who I am and all those things that were done without signatures. The fraud that was done without signatures, the testing that was done without signatures, and all of those things that were taking advantage of me and taking abuse of me without having any due diligence and or validation. Nobody sat down to even talk with me. And if they were, spending all of the money to do more black magic on me so that I would stay suppressed and I wouldn't go out into the collective and best in my best, because my voice is my gift, and it activates many to awaken into remembrance. And and them, doing all the spell work to hold me back from being loved and having love offers. And so, of course, spirit is back, and there's going to be many of them that won't make it out. So, but that's the backfire of their decades of black magic and lying and defamation and exploitation, selling my name in the underground. And who has a right to do that? I mean, it's just ridiculous. The things will be coming out. It has to. We have to heal it. Many of the people that are sold in the underground harvesting rings, they don't even know they're being sold. They're into fake and false marriages, and families and groups and cults will carry your name as their ownership, and they will use you and harvest off of you, and then they send people to stalk you and to make sure your life is hell because they want you under their cult. So there's a lot of the secret society, social, horrible things that have been happening, and many don't even know it. They just don't understand why they're being stalked all the time, and they don't know why their life is going into sabotage, and none of their work efforts are paying off because they're wanting to be kept in suppression and subjugation. That is the ideal, and this is where a lot of the polygamous communities stem from, is to having the women operate in certain roles, having the women have their monies and reliances of certain men in the cult and in the poly communities. And so the men have all operation of the money, and they just become more and more criminal because it is absolute abuse of human rights. The cult was from Calgary. They were also using black magic and voodoo to keep to keep you in suppressive states, to keep you in not going anywhere, not doing anything. So they basically keep you as vibrational prisoners and spiritual prisoners. And it is all criminal. It is criminal abuse. So we have to come up with new laws, criminal abuse, to premeditate murder, and to have somebody brainwashed, and to have somebody mind scraped. These are all very psychologically tormenting experiences. And I still suffer from PTSD that I still have to heal from. But thank God for God that I'm here, and I get to have a new life, a second chance at life, and I get to create the way I want to create. I'm a creative genius. I get to explore all the things I want to create. I've got so many ideas, and I'm so lucky that I get another chance to help anybody that has been through such horrible human rights abuses and systematic abuses, dark occult abuses, and just bring general higher vibrational information and wisdoms of light. Light intelligence needs to be on the planet immediately, because so many of the things that are going on in our collective, whether it's children having guns and going to school, or whether it's dumbass leaders that think putting a nuclear bomb because they're mad at the person next door is an answer, and it's really not. So all these things are healable. These things are absolutely not necessary. And again, what leader would do such thing when it's affecting all life in the multiverse? Nuclear energy affects all life in the multiverse. And so the galactic federations are on top of any leader that thinks that they are bully in the playground by these tools, because they're not. And they will be put again to embarrassment and to shame. And the galactic federations are on top of everything. So it is simply to know, we're just going to continue with the recombination. I wanted to finish that. Matter is being trained. So we're training our matter. Everything that we are as a multivibrational being, we're training it. So the more vibrationally excited you are, so when you're doing your healings, I suggest, have your nightly cleanse. Even if you're, if you have a loving partner and you have intimacy with that loving partner, because they do raise the intensity, and they create a whole shift in your chemistry. Obviously, if you're making love with somebody you love instead of somebody that's just doing sex magic on you, it's kind of a difference there. That's why I chose celibacy, because it's just insane. People can practice whatever they want. I see the energy of what goes on, and it's pretty icky. It's pretty icky. Ugh. Ooh. But everybody's got to clear it, right? You make your choices. If the more partners you choose to share your life force with, the more dense and more mashed up. It's a complete mashup. And it's like, okay, well, you got to clear it now, because it's... okay, don't go there. I got guns in my head. So recombination, and the cells are replicating through the meiosis of always changing to higher states of life. So meiosis is when the cell splits. That's meiosis. So you can look it up, do your biology, chapter today. Meiosis is when it splits and creates that new cell. And you can absolutely call in the highest light for that new cell. Namaste, hello, thank you for joining us. And so in this replication process of all that is the quantum biology of Source Creator, just allow yourself to intend light going into every breath, because breath is the reignition of new life within your body. Breath has always been that sacred elixir. It's just been, we were coded with, it's just who we are, because that breath is also linked to Source Creator God. And so that breath is the ignition of all new life. That breath is the ignition of all new mastery within your cells and mastery within your multidimensional functioning. And so that breath brings that sacred light cell, it brings that light cell to greater life. So use your breath with intention and affirmation. Go to those places to ignite greater light and greater infusion. And so for those on the line that are wanting to clear off their sexual centers, because there's a couple of people on that are just asking that telepathically, there's lots of great videos to clear your sexual centers. You can just do it daily with intention. Usually if you're being prepared for a divine counterpart, your teams are really helping you quite a bit to cut off any cords from the past that you've had intimacy with. Anybody that you exchange life force with, you create a cord. And so it's really important, those that you have exchanged life force with, there is going to be a cord there. There will always be that cord there, but it's up to you to, with your pure heart, mind, body, and soul, it's always with your pure heart. And nothing changes without your pure heart. And then the intention on why you choose to have that cord removed from current presence of who you are. It will always be in your field, but it won't be active. And you have to ask that cord to be shut down. And so ask your higher self and Archangel Michael with the angels. They'll close any cords down that pull and yank on you when they've been told, shown, and offered no. And that's why I always say, when you know that you're entering into a sacred contract, it's always good to to have those closing conversations with all of those that you're letting, when you're allowing them to move out of your life, because you want to put your energy into a divine partnership, because that divine partnership will offer you the heavenly aspects of who you are as a soul. And you won't have to put your time in these other little pockets that aren't offering you that heavenly aspect, because they're not equally vibrationally aligned. They're not heavenly aligned for the plans that are within your blueprint. So a heavenly contract is far different than what, you're just having a casual relationship with. It is a very sacred experience. There, when two souls come together from other uniting timelines to continue the embodiment of higher vibrational co-creation. And usually the beings that come together, I've recognized, a beautiful energy in my field that I'm excited to get to know. And it's a huge magnetic experience. It changes your whole day. So it's a very powerful experience, and your teams are helping you clear out the sexual centers. But if I always suggest to my clients, clearing out your sexual centers at least once a week. Focus on that area, which is your sacral energy and the root chakra. And depending if you're a divine feminine, if you've been out in the public like me, there's been a lot of damage done to my womb area, because that's where they attack, because they know that I'm, they know that I'm a royal ranked lineage. And so that's where they attack. They attack the womb, and they attack my ability to co-create. And they think everything is being healed and everything is being set right. But for women and men, it's really important to clear your sexual energies, because you carry those cords no matter how long ago that person was with you. Those energies are there, and you can still feel the triggers. And so just do those clearings with intent, and just, I always just sweep up. That's how you do a clearing. And just sit in meditation and intention, doing your breath work in the morning, and just doing your daily path work to say, I'd like to release and have my guides close any cords that are open. There are usually more cords than you think. Even people that you work with that are siphoning energy, so they've put an attachment on you. Sometimes they do it unconsciously, and sometimes they do it consciously. And so just have them close down any cords that are taking energy from you. And they also wanted me to say, because there's many of you on the line that are new. Oh, thank you for joining. Some of you are star seeds that are new joining, and you've never called yourself star seeds. You have not been taught, told, or shown that you're star seeds and how to work with your bodies. I did a great post yesterday on my community board. Understand your raising of the energy flow in your body and how it creates symptoms like fidgety and nervousness or anxiety. All of those are symptoms of being higher functioning and higher empathic, higher sensory. And so your higher sensory skills are actually your gift. And so I've always told my clients, for as long as I've been doing this, is always have a higher guide yourself and your higher healing teams that guide you on whether to take pharmaceuticals or not for whatever you think is a symptom that you don't think that you can remove or resolve or just transmute, because you can. The pharmaceuticals are very damaging to obviously the sensorial, and you need your sensorial bodies to tune into how you feel mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and sexually. Your sensorial fields help you understand if your environment is safe. They help you understand how to tune into places that need to be healed. So your gifts are actually a gift. Usually growing up, if you're very fidgety and you're high functioning or you're high empathic or you're highly sensitive, people would tell you that you're sensitive all the time, you can't stop moving, and they would call you and classify you as ADHD and all of those things. And it's really not. It's just learning how to work with your code of energy, with your stream of energy. And once you do that, and once you understand how to work with energy, ground it every day, then you're going to feel less and less anxious, because anxious is directly related to self-perception. And usually those self-perceptions are lack of self and the lack of self-confidence within you, because again, growing up, you've had everybody project their lack of self, of themselves, who they are, because of course, being a starseed, the generation before you did the best they could, but they were never there to nourish you and to teach you about functioning. They were never there to teach you about being higher sensorial. So it's important to understand your sensorial gifts are everything, and they are directly related to those energies of, feeling anxious and feeling, like you're fidgety. I fidget all the time. I fidget all day long. I'm constantly fidgeting because I got a lot of energy running through my body, right? And so, but it just means practicing with your energy in different ways. Getting in maybe more workouts, and understanding that if you're beginning of the day and the end of the day, you're going to be far more balanced. You're not going to feel chaotic, like you're all over the place. Calling in your energy and then grounding through your temple and grounding to Gaia will really alleviate a lot of the stress or the anxiety when you are out in people. Those that are around the public a lot, they're just saying there's some misdiagnoses, and I wrote that in my post the other day on my community board. I think it was yesterday morning, so go back on my community board, and I wrote some information about anxiety, and it is all healable. I suggest that you always ask your higher self before you take any big pharma, because they actually create more of a hindrance to you being in greater health. So it's really important not to always just surrender to pharmaceuticals for these experiences that are just telling you you're high functioning, or you're highly empathic, or you're highly sensorial, or you just have a lot of energy running through your body. And how can we manifest something with energy? Right? So we're going to be learning so much over the next 5 years about who we are as energy, understanding energy. What happens when we do have blocks? What happens? How can we get rid of and transmute those lower vibrational energies about adapting to a higher vibrational reality, which is what we want to do. We have been adaptation to lower vibrational entropy. In who we are as divine beings, as the Pleiadians have shown me, and we've taught about for many, many, many years, and so too with many other channelers, our physical bodies and working as light and working as Metatronic light, we can live hundreds of years old. We should not be dying as early as we are. But we have been adapting and having entropy with cells and within the brain, and the synapses start to shut down, and the mental abrasions start to densify, and then it becomes the light can't get in and the thought forms can't move. So it's important that we entrain our thought forms every year in higher light. We entrain who we are as higher light, and that we don't have to adapt to a lower vibration, but we have to adapt to a higher vibration, and that's called entrainment. And that is moving through that infinity of where are you now, what are your beliefs and perspectives, and then rewrite it into a higher version of who. Because everything, we shouldn't be seeing the number of diseases and number of illnesses that we do on our planet. It's not that we shouldn't be having it if we have full access to light, and we do. Every person on this planet has the exact same access to light. My access to light is like everybody else's. I just know how to use it in an efficient manner. I know how to work with my body in an efficient manner. I barely eat, and I'm surviving on light. And so it's just manifesting through light. It's just manifesting and teaching your body to be in that higher vibration and higher oscillation, And so it's all possible. So adaptation can be lower or higher. Remember, everything in creation is the infinity. It's the infinity. It's either the lower and then higher. That's all energy ever is. How you operate it in the vessel, your vessel is very sacred. As I was saying earlier, they wanted me to go back. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So those that are preparing for sacred relationships, they are brought together through Source Creator, your higher self, what's happened on all other timelines, because this is a very important multiverse union of triad multiverse union. And those of us that have come forward for the divine plan to move forward on various projects like hybridization, things like that, because the planet is in need of those energies, because there's always a longer ranging plan, if you will. And this who you have been in this timeline is only just one speck, which we talk about all the time. You're a soul. You're a vast and dynamic soul. You have many, many timelines. And so the beings that are going to be coming together will help bring into fruition higher vibrational constructs of potentiality for more, as we've said all throughout our videos, more creative expression and acceptance, because that's what's needed on the planet, is the diversity and acceptance and the diversity and creative expression. And then so in a way that it's respecting and honoring to all people as we begin to balance out the negative adaptations that we have seen, as we've talked about the underground, and the divine man's not healing their wounds with their sexual explorations and their experiences and their experiences. As we said in our videos a long time ago, and it's a natural part of healing your soul's fragments, 51% of 3 to 5D is what every person is responding. Every person, no matter who they are, it is a normal part of soul healing for you to be, and it's very normal for you to be attracted to the same sex. There are many that will go through their judgments and discriminations because a lot of the church and state have discriminated and such over eons. It's been done in the household, it's been done in familial lineage, it's been done in social, it's been done in educational, it's been done in political, it's been done every much discrimination. And so that's why the underground became what it was, because it was just a natural part of a soul's evolution to explore the various ways that a human soul can do anything at any point in time. Because again, in every spiral of now, you're calling up any of those fragments that are unhealed. So say you had a last lifetime where you were gay, you were happy being gay, but there was a tragedy that occurred that gave you the negativity of that expression of being gay. And so all of that has to be healed, and that's just a natural progression. It is also a natural progression as we become more androgynous, I'm more androgynous than I am anything. But I'm very, very excited about union with a masculine. I'm so very excited about that. And so I've always had my my excitement for that. I'm pretty excited about that. And so in that, it's just the natural flow of healing your energies. As every human is, every time you go through an ascension cycle, you're going to have to pull these cords up they're called soul fragments, they're also called psyche experiences. These psyche experiences will have that wound of discrimination. And that energy and that wound of discrimination, and how you were repressed, how you were suppressed, how you did not align with your spiritual voice, because there's people on the line now there's a lot of throat chakra right now. So there's claiming of who you're meant to be in this experience. So maybe work on your throat chakra. It's okay to have those sexual attractions. It's normal in a soul's evolution. You're not going to be a balanced soul if you don't allow your soul to have the attractions that it needs when it needs it. The caveat is, as we've said in all of our other videos, and how it became debaucherous and underground, was because there was deceit and lying, and there was the hiding and the suppression of how people were practicing and what they were wanting to explore, express, and then they brought children into it. So again, that's when it becomes corruptive and it goes way out of balance. And then to bring it into balance, there's going to be a pulling up of all these societies. It has to come out to be faced, because that's the wound that is being missed in the collective, and that is why Divine Feminine has been erased. Because it was the Divine Feminine that was holding the place for that healing experience. And that healing experience wasn't there. There's no Divine Feminine in our collective. If you can name 5 or more Divine Feminine in your collective that are holding a vibrational higher role model truth where all voices are important, children, elders, everybody is important, and we're actually doing the daily work and getting out with the communities and being with those that need to be healed, bringing higher vibrational informations. What 5 or 10 women does anybody know, and can we lift? So if the divine feminine are not there having that space holder and that healing and healing the homes, all of these people that are in the undergrounds, they all have homes that they're going to be pulled up and shaken because they thought they were in a heterosexual experience with a husband, and yet that husband was selling names and complete polygamist experience, and they've got, 7 or 10 other wives. There's a lot that's going to come out, and it has to be healed. And the only reason why the underground was there is because there was so much suppression. They were denying, and they were refusing to let the attractions that were coming up. Instead of doing the 3As, well, I acknowledge it. It's just an attraction. That's okay. I can accept myself in no matter what way I see myself. I can be attracted to women. I can be attracted to men. But how I choose to move about my path on a unified co-creative experience, I choose to be with a man. I've my choice. That's my very excited choice. It gets me very excited, right? To have that co-creative man that is equally divine, that is equally that of himself, and that is ready to be a co-creative partner, because that sexual life force is everything in manifesting. The sexual life force is everything in healing the bodies. If it's an equal pairing through the heavens, I say from the heavens from now on, it will be the your soul partner pairing, if you can surrender to it. I would suggest not letting your ego think the ego is in charge, because the ego doesn't know anything about, your partner. If it is an equal pairing, the sexual, which we wanted to say before, if you're in tune with your guides and you're working with your healing teams, your guides are going to help prepare your sexual center, going to help prepare what has wounded in the past, and they're going to prepare you to have some releases between the two of you meet, so that you can be in the highest and best state for your collaboration, because your life forces have been, again, in many timelines, and it's very important, for both of you to be in a healthy state that's balanced and, sexually balanced, sexually safe, sexually aligned, creatively aligned. Your sexual life force is everything to do with your creativity. So if your creativity is out of alignment, your sexual life force is out of alignment. If your sexual life force is out of alignment, you're out of alignment. It's all one. But your healing teams are there to assist in clearing out the deposits and the darkness and the black magic that have been done. So my teams gave me, a clear, check mark saying that they were working on both me and my potential partner, and just clearing things out, for both of us to feel, that we can have a fresh, clean slate going forward in a nice, honoring and very sacred way. Because your life force is very sacred. That's why I've chosen to be celibate. I'm not going to share my life force with anybody that, it was so funny. I went to the gym the other day, and it's so primal there. I worked out in the gym in a while, because I usually work outside. I'll go for hikes and things like that. So I went to the gym, and I was working out, and I was just doing my arm curls and stuff. And I've been in the gym my whole life, so I know what I'm doing kind of in the gym. And, all of a sudden the guys kind of hover, and it's like, you need a spot there, you need a spot. And I go, no, I don't need it. I'm just doing my curls, And then the girls come in, and the girls that are regulars there, because I don't go there all the time. And the regular girls that were there, they're kind of, checking me out to see who am I, what am I doing? Who the hell am I to be here, right? So many attitudes and energies at the gym. Everywhere I would move, there would be this little pocket of on-starers and onlookers, because I was, I don't go there all the time, but I've, always worked out in a gym, so I kind of know what I'm doing. I don't need the, the assistance, but it's so primal. There, and I was like, I only did a really, really short workout. It was maybe 40 minutes. I just did weights, and then I left. But it was just so primal, the energies that come out when, you're doing the endorphin experience, and that's what working out is. You're just raising endorphins. And especially for somebody that has all of her chakras aligned and all of my chakras are balanced, my energy does, give off a little bit more than most. But it was when you're in those alignments of knowing your sexual energy and understanding your chakras and understanding your energy, you can manifest it in a really positive and honoring way. It has been used, as we've talked about in all of my videos for the past 3 years, is about the abuse of sexual energy, sexual orgies and things like that that go on in sex covens. There are negative abuse, and those people have experienced sexual diseases, especially when they're using other people's energies and names, like the elite soul harvesting that we've talked about. All of this is going to come out, it has to come out, because the primary foundation that I teach to everybody is your sex force and who you are as divine sacred light, as a divine being of Mother, Father, God, Source, Creator. You are a being of exquisiteness, and it can be used in positive ways and negative ways, and it can be used in neutral ways. So your life force and what you do with your energy, how you manifest with your energy, how you negotiate and navigate with your energy, it will either be a negative, a neutral, or a positive. The more healer, it will just be a continuing of, yeah.
You could use corner here?
No.
No?
No. The more positive you are, you're just going to continue to have a momentum of positive co-creation. It's when you're acting in negativity where you're taking and harvesting or forcing people to be in your story through darker practices or through, the abuse of sexual life force, that is when you see, even unfortunately, you'll see, it's unfortunate, but you'll see, fetuses not come. The energy has to present itself in a manifestation. So if you're abusing energy in any way, it will show itself to you so that you take that lesson and you learn it. Everything is a soul lesson. So again, if you've been doing 15 years, 10 years, 8 years, 6 years, 10 years of black magic and voodoo to affect others people's lives so that you can attain, money and clout and, having these people as your little toys and your tokens, you will absolutely see that come back. If you're abusing the life force and sex orgies and things like that and using other people's names, you will get sexual diseases, especially for somebody like myself that I've been telling people they don't have the right to. They don't have the right for anybody to use my name or my energy, except for the one that God ordains for you to be in that relationship with, and that person knows who they are. That's the only person that's going to be allowed to work with my energy. Because I've given them that soul agreement. I've said, yes, we want to work with each other's energy. And it's meant to be done in a respectful honoring where there's no magic done back and forth. So again, working with your throat chakra, right? Understanding energy is so important. The karma that people are going through right now, they're just, and I said, if they had listened to me 6 years ago when I called all of these things out, I have emails of proof of what I've said, and it's all unfolding right now. And all of my videos for the last 3 years it's 100% truth. It's all coming out. If you don't respect energy, and if you don't respect those that you're a connection with, if you don't respect how you're using life force because life force is source creator. Source creator. So how could you deny that source creator? How could you work with source creator with children and abuse it? It's absolutely going to come back to everybody. And we have to understand how important source creator is, how important it is to our DNA, how important it is to all life on earth. It's everything. So again, how we're seeing the imbalance here on earth and how we're seeing the adaptation has been very negative because of the unhealed and the lack of understanding and the lack of knowledge on how to heal when you have those natural soul expressions that come out to be faced, 3 A's and the 3 E's and the 4th and the 5th E, your excitement and your expansion for evolution. You are meant to feel natural attractions to all things that is life. It's just a natural part of your soul's growth. You're not meant to go in depression and judge yourself or discriminate, because that's what the patterns of the outer church and state have been. That's why there's so much dichotomy. That's why there's so much polarity. That's why there's so much discrimination on our planet. And that's why it's important for the LGBTQ+ plus to have their access to their liberation and their freedom of expression. They're helping balance the distortions of what has gone on thousands and thousands of years. And so they're here with a very powerful, life force experience, and they will have their energies balanced to be, again, another version of themselves, however they choose to be, right? But it's up to nobody to say any one person should express or explain or even have to explain themselves. They're a part of this collective, and again, I'm going to say one thing most people don't know. There has been programs where there has been intentional direction of confusing your gender. So that was part of the human testing that was done on me. And they were doing everything they could to try and make me gay and to try and confuse me about my sexuality. And, I know who I am. I'm a goddess. I know who I am. It's just unfortunate there hasn't been that many men that can meet me on an equal, creative playing field. and that can carry energy without it being abusive. So that's been the challenge. And so, that's why it has to be ordained by Source, because Source knows who is going to love you deeply. Source will know who knows, I'll give until I have nothing left to give. Even when I have nothing left to give, I still give. And I share, I'm expressive and I'm sharing, and all of those things that as a creative empath and a conduit, that's just how I have to be. I have to move the energy. I have to share, I have to fidget, that's how I live, right? It's normal for me. But that has to be met equally by that person that's how God chooses, because that other soul is also looking for someone to share that depth of emotion. And that depth of emotion is what? That depth of emotion is the manifestation of the creative integrity that you are, Source. That's why it's really good to be deeply in love. That deep love, that deep expression, that deep exploration, that deep experience that you want with somebody, that's truly manifestational. And that helps heal your body, because we've been so suppressed for thousands and thousands of years. But I'm saying as a caveat again, have your mature conversations. This is what I want in this type of an experience. This is how I see it going in this type of an experience. This is what I'm really excited to explore. These are my my weaknesses and my strengths, because usually in those divine relationships, one person's weakness is the other person's strengths, and the other person's strength is the other person's weakness. And that's the yin and the yang experience. So those, again, are why Source knows the pairings of each based on the timeline you've been on, based on the initiations you've been through, based on what you've allowed yourself to clear out, based on how you're operating right now, and where your next soul's growth level up is. And if choosing a level up growth, then again, you're just going to be in entropy, moving yourself into those experiences. So again, there's always the infinity. There's always the entropy, right? That's the adaptation. You're adapting to a lower vibrational dimension. You're adapting to allow yourselves to replicate. You just allow yourself to go into lower vibrational experience. And then that neutral is, no, I'm going to set my new standard. I'm going to recode my DNA. I'm going to recode my body. I'm going to recode my mental body. And then I'm going to start to increase and infuse and entrain light. So we wanted to really get adaptation in there. And it goes with your sexual life force. Your sexual life force is so very sacred. So really, as a part of your daily ascension pathwork, really explore with yourself how you share it and why you share it with who you share it with, and really start to become more sacred with it. So I'm getting goosebumps right now. So allowing yourself to go within and start thinking and wondering, what does sacred mean to me? How do I really want to share that thing that is so very sacred that you're only given it? It is only given to you. Your life force is how you manifest. Your life force is how you create. Life force is how you connect with all creation. So that's why very divine experiences of coming with certain souls, the energy exchange and the palpable life force exchange, it can be felt even energetically. And it does change the DNA, it changes the mind, it changes the body. So I'm an energetic healer, so I feel everything. And so just know that when you honor your life force, then you can say, I choose to give my life force in this way to this. I want the very best for them. And then you can just share. When I say life force, it doesn't mean a sexual exchange. Sometimes it does when you're in that sexual intimacy and sexual intercourse and you're making love with each other. That is the exchange of the sexual life force. And every time you do, there is that cord. And so you have to choose with intention to say, yeah, this is a beautiful relationship. I want to strengthen the harmony between us, because it strengthens the harmony within you, the one that is, brought forward by Source. Because Source knows exactly what your soul needs. Source knows the challenges and the triumphs you've been through. Source knows what will equally balance your soul, how you want to be loved, how you want to be nourished. And that's one thing that humanity has been missing, because it's been so very wounded. Because nobody's doing the inner work. Who are you? I want to be loved in this way. I want to be seen in sacredness in this way. These are the things that I want, and is that partner there? You have to define it for yourself, and then you have to have those conversations with Spirit. This is the soulmate that I choose. I choose a soulmate to be like this with me. I choose a soulmate to share with me. I choose a soulmate to have important quality. And then you allow Source to, again, go through the timelines of all the timelines that you exist upon. Right? And see what partner is kind of at the same level and willing to, walk the journey with you, because it's a profound. And it's one where I would suggest, it's different, but, when you're sharing your life force, for me, it's just what I've seen and what I see in energy. When you share your life with one person, it changes when you share it with somebody else. And so that's just, again, the polygamist and the polyamorous and those types of experiences. You have to be in a very mature state and have those conversations maturely. That's caveat. You have to be able to have mature conversations, because if you choose to be a higher evolved being, your life force is very important, and it's not something you just joke about. Your body and your vessel is very important. You want to be able to share it sacredly with those that want that sacred return. That is a positive and influential light adaptation, is to choose and have those mature conversations that will alter your life. Right? Because your body is important. You don't want to have, those diseases, as many of those people that thought they were manifesting all these things in their sex covens, but really, they're manifesting diseases because they didn't have the right to use other people's energy and life force. There's against all spiritual laws. It's universal laws. So if you're not following the sacred Trinity and universal laws, you will manifest your karma, and it will be an entropy, because you have to see the deeds of your choices. Your choices are positive, neutral, and negative. It's always going to be that way. And our cells and our body and our DNA are absolutely, it's like the tree of life. Each of us are a tree of life, and that force feeds that tree of life. And when you're ready to plant new seeds with new energies and new timelines and new beings, that new seed is your intention recalibration. I do want a vibrational soulmate that is this, this, and this. Because you've learned your lessons, you've closed those cords off, and have your angels do those experiences with you, so that you can make sure that those energies are cleared out. And I just do a light sweeping with breath work and just call in your higher self and your healing teams. And in the morning when you're doing your meditations and at night, and you just have your teams come in, and I call all your soul, this is just how you do it, call all your soul fragments, call all your light, call all your energy. All energy returns back to you every night. You should do this every night, especially if you have other partners, many partners or many friends. They've all got a piece of your energy. And that's sometimes why people feel anxious and anxiety if they're high functioning or they're starseeds, because they haven't worked with their energy properly, because they're taught or told, and their energy has been deposited everywhere, and they can make them feel scattered. So just working with your energy field will make you feel a lot less anxious. And you get to feel like you're managing your energy in a more efficient way, because my role is to help humanity raise the vibration of who we are as multi-vibrational beings. And then once you become a fully encompassed light, is then to manage your energy in a higher efficient way, so that you're doing less, but you're actually manifesting more. Because light is so much more powerful than darkness, right? Or disease or imbalance. And then once you've called all your soul fragments in, call your through intention. I call all of my consciousness. I call all of my awareness to my heart space, because your heart space is what is your alchemy. Your heart space is your tool of alchemy. And then with a full body deep breath, I usually do 3 full body deep breaths. Call in your healing teams and the highest angels. And then you call in Divine Mother and Father for your higher self. And you ask that if there's any cords or any threads are feeding and being used by other people, can you please have these closed off, and can you please have them transmuted away? And just affirmations like that, and just intend these cords, I intend these relationships that have been taking from me and harming from me, or using my energy without my knowing. I usually say with my knowing or not knowing, can you please release these energies that have been taking, without permission, and release them now, please. Release them now. And just begin working with your body in higher commandmentship. And so it's really important to know that anybody that you've exchanged life force with, those cords will be there. And if there is still dysfunction or they're still triggering there, then just have them, ask your teams how to clear it karmically, so that you're moving forward in a higher vibrational way. So if there's an apology that needs to be done to somebody, or, send them a box of cookies saying, sorry for this that I did. I hope we can close this off in good terms. I wish you the very best, whatever needs to be done. And so that you're closing those cords that might still be alive to pull energy from you and take away from new projects and your new relationships and your new foundations. So from here on out, we want to allow you higher commandmentship every day, build your new foundations for 5D, clearing and cleansing your body on a daily basis, understanding energy at a higher vibrational rate, so that you're manifesting in a higher efficiency way, and how important your life force is, and how to start manifesting higher adaptation instead of lower adaptation entropy. Did I say everything there, Spirit? Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Yes, they're just saying that we're all as a collective rising higher, and there will be many shifts that will be coming for each and every one of you for your intention of your soul. So when we say soul, your solar plexus, those in your solar plexus that you really want to explore and experience, those are the 3 E's, right? I want to explore and express and experience myself in new ways. That's the solar plexus. That is the life driving force. That's how you manifest that ball of light, right? And that light connected with your heart chakra can move all the light in your chakras, and it can help manifest in a beautiful centered space. And then you wouldn't need any of outer taking of anything, before you reach out, go within. You don't need the alcohol, you don't need the drugs, you don't need the pharma to calm or change who you are. You're meant to be that type of person. So as I said in my day, I'm a naturally fidgety person. I've always been this way. I've always been busy creating. I'm constantly creating. I'm constantly writing. I'm constantly creating. I'm constantly moving and working out, and I'm constant. It's, I sit for a couple of hours in meditation, and I enjoy that quiet time, but I'm constant. My body and my energy has to move. And so my creations have to be that way. If I'm sitting down creating, my feet and my hands will just keep going because I'm moving the energy. And so for others, they would see that as a nervous tick, and for me to go and get an anxiety drug, go to get some Ritalin or something. But that's just, no, this is who I am. If it bothers you, then move. Right? I'm not fitting into your box. What the hell? Okay, so we offer you every day that you are being gifted new ways with new higher vibrational mastery skills taught by those that have been here many times before, and the channelers and the teachers that you are creatively and energetic to. It is up to all, and it is each responsibility for your creational core vibration by infusing new higher aligned light intentions. And that will, through the light intentions, processing, transmuting into newer patterns. Who are you in this new experience, and how can you infuse light? For everything is a spiral, always moving, and whatever is being shown to you, whether it's an attraction to the same sex, whether it's understanding if you have a discrimination about transgender, discrimination about whatever it might be, divine feminine, then call it in and just say, okay, the 3 A's, I acknowledge it, that's in my field, I acknowledge it, I'm not going to suppress it or deny it. I'm going to accept it because it's part of my story. I have to accept this experience as part of my story. Everything that is before you is a part of the story. So the acceptance is so very, you cannot move forward without acceptance. And that is our unity consciousness. Acceptance of all beings and all people, and allow everybody to go in a healing phase and stage, because everybody's at a different level of consciousness. Everybody has a different phase, how they process light, how they integrate light, how they're processing their new experience of their reality. There are always the seen and unseen aspects of recombination. Again, your intention is the infusion of light, and you can feel that light go in with your cells if you're in your nighttime healing, that infusion of light in your cells, and just breathing in light with intention, just breathing in more youthfulness experiences for yourself, breathing in more youthfulness connections that will inspire you and take care of you and love you as you take care of them. Infuse that intention of being nourished as love. And for me, because it's been 50 years of not love and not nourished, that's what I'm infusing. I'm infusing the intention and the reality creation that I'll be as nourished as equally as I give, because I usually give it's always so unmatched. The energies that are most prominent will be that which stands out to you first. And again, we go back to that post that I did about anxiety and what was the other one, Spirit? Nervousness. And self-confidence. They're all connected to self-perception, and that's just about healing. So that's easy to heal. But in that, if you're allowing yourself to think that those things, because of the untrained world that you were brought up, parents, we always have those parents and the judgments of our lineage and our family and our church. And I remember in school, the teachers would always, I don't know why, but I guess they did. Kids that would fidget in their seat, and they would call them really distracting, and they would have the parents come in for interviews because they were being distracted. But now they have, when my kids were going to school, they had all these really wonderful little fidget things, so because a lot of our kids are higher vibrational now, they have to just keep moving the energy. I have all these little fidget tools, which are just wonderful, because when I was in school, it was just like, you were called into the principal's office, and it was a whole thing. It's like, why does it have to be a whole thing? Like, why can't I just have different energy than you? Like, why am I pulled down to the office? Beanies. I'm so glad this first half of my life is over. God, All things in creation is energy. All is at a harmonic experience. There is a new collective heartbeat. It is pulsing a new harmonic song. There are new divine pulsations every day. You are now, if you choose to be as a soul, as a conscious co-creator, you are now a conscious participation student of Source Creator, if you choose. As I said in my last video, I'm always creating and I'm always talking with Spirit, I'm always fidgeting, I'm always working with Spirit, I'm always working with energy. That's how I transmute. If there is something going on in the collective, I transmute that. That's what a conduit is. A conduit is a vessel of energy that transmute for energies around them. So I do a lot of work for all collective. I do a lot of work for people that I just walk by in the street and that I'm sitting next to. I transmute a lot of energy. I know who I am. I know what I do, my role. But for people and for children that were starseeds, also high functioning or also high vibrational starseeds, they were sensing so much, not having the appropriate schooling or education or expressive outlet, because again, the schools are not showing children how to express their light. A lot of these people became suppressed and they turned to drugs and alcohol. Many of them did, creative careers, and they created very unique experiences for themselves in not even knowing that they were star seeds, but having to move that energy very quickly and very intensely. And so they found themselves a niche. And now we're just moving up a new level of finding unique niches on how to express that really intense capacity of light within, because we will be creating momentum. Remember, the capacity to carry is going to be accelerating because it's more rarefied and more purified. That means your cells in your body and your energies and your ideas and your inspiration are going to be coming faster. It doesn't mean you have to work faster, because we're trying to remind you that we want you to be more efficient, but also for the children to be brought up in higher light experiences so that they're not feeling pressed and they're not subjugating their expression. It is so important to their health and their healing. There are a lot of children that didn't make it because it was easier for them to take themselves out, for whatever way. There's no platform for expression for the children. They're not taught in schools. The teachers and the families are not teaching them. The church and state are suppressing and subjugating them. For a light being like myself, born in the 70s, it's how was I ever to survive what I went through with such fucking subjugation? How was a creative genius like myself ever meant to survive such fucking subjugation? And even now, I was telling Spirit last week, I said, I'm so tired of fighting for my voice. Like, what the fuck? It's like, why does Divine Feminine have to say the same thing 18 billion times? Like, why do I have to say no to everybody from the past 18 billion times? Why do I have to do that? When they were selling my name back and forth without a permission, without a signature, without anything. What's the double standard here? When Divine Feminine says no, it means fucking no. You don't have a right to use my name. You don't have a right to use my energy. Who said you did? Who said you had the right to transfer my name back and forth to other groups and other gangs that abuse energy and abuse names? And the children have to know this. The children have to say, I'm going to reclaim, and we're going to create new energetic creative arts expression. It's everything. New platforms for the children to create and dance and create poetry and write music and write books and write songs and do comics and do all of the things that children are meant to do. They have a divine genetic blueprint that's connected to all realms. What they're in 3D structure are not allowing them to express in their highest light. And we don't want any more children to take them out because they're just so... When you get subjugated and you get suppressed in your creative spiritual voice, when you are not allowing... Where's my little picture? There it is. When you're not allowing, though, of your energy, you're not allowing the flow, and you're not allowing that expressive, the 3 E's. If that expression is not being sent out, and you're not being offered with nourishment, honor, and acceptance, and you don't have that environment that says, yes, I accept you and I honor you, I'm valuing you. You're valued, but your expression is so valued. This is something that Source wants everybody to know. Every single human divine expression is magnificent and perfect just as it is. And it's been missed all of our lifetime. We feel we have to conform to have certain expressions. We feel we have to be a certain way to have a certain expression. We feel that an expression to speak about source and God and creation and the magnitude of light and the magnitude of what we can be and the potential of healing our own bodies has to only come from certain vessels and certain names and certain ways. There's so much discrimination, and those are the imprints from the collective, of all the collective woundings, church, state, lineage, familial, ancestral, all of those experiences are being brought up and they have to be transmuted. Because the creative expression is everything. Source says, as us as teachers and healers and spiritualists and leaders for these new world templates, we're just the templates. We are just the jump platform to say, if this is what we can do when we're aligned with light, and we can survive impairment, and we can survive rituals and sacrifices, and we can survive subjugation, and we can survive homelessness, and survive all of these things, people never allowing us to have our own voice. If we can survive this, what can these children do? And how can we set up new platforms where they're being honored and they're being safely protected and they're blessed in every expression that they are? Because they have gifts that will teach us and help us learn and grow and expand. And there's no structure in 3D that is helping them with that. So they need star seeds like us to come forward now. So this is a clarion call to all star seeds. You've done your healing, you're adults now. There are so many starseed adults. It's time for us to create new systems. It's time for us to create new creative arts and entertainment. It's not going to be an industry anymore. And we're going to call forward the highest vibrational experience for children to feel safe and loved and to feel like their experience matters and their voice matters. There was a lot of youth that were really, really concerned from the energy that I felt, because I'm collective, about the sadness when Trump was elected. The youth were very sad. Their voices are already suppressed. And why some of those leaders have said to me, in my case, Spirit showed me a couple of days ago, Spirit said that one of them had said they wanted me gone because I was bad for business. And so if I'm bad for business, what business are you doing? If my role is teacher, healer, and to provide children the highest vibrational expression possible because it helps with evolution and not extinction, what business am I bad for? So this is where the energies of certain beings on the planet, why they're letting go of nuclear bombs, because they're having a little boy tantrum about their neighbor next door. Okay, so this is the level of intelligence, and these are the people actually leading with the people's money and the people's time and energy. Okay, so where's the true intelligence? And where's the voices of divine feminine, voices of the children? So there will be star seeds like us that will be the voices to assist those children in being heard. They need creative expression outlet, higher vibrational, light, intelligent teachings to understand their bodies. They don't need big pharma and drugs. They're perfect as they are. Their expressions are perfect as they are, and they're here to teach us. So we need to get out of their way. And I will be that voice until my last breath here. I will not leave this planet until every child is liberated. And it is about adaptation. We're adapting to higher vibrational light as we're seeing everything before us is very alive. Everything before us is energy, and we've been very, very ignorant. Because what is ignorance? It's the wounding. So heal the wounding. So recombination is as above and so below. You're pulling in all the soul judgments and discriminations that you see before you, knowing that your vessel is a gift of the divine, because it is. Your vessel is a part of your Merkaba. Work with your Merkaba, work with your light body, work with your higher vibrational teams. I say to my teams every night, depends what I'm working on. I might go into a youth chamber where they put me in a youth chamber, help regenerate my cells, they help regenerate my organs, all the damages that were done to me on that spell work. You know, whatever I want to work on, they help me put me in these chambers and we work on certain things. But you can intend that throughout your day. Say, you know, you're walking as a youthful chamber of light. You're walking as a youthful vessel, and you want to emanate that to everybody before you, right? Because that attracts, right? When you're solid and you're balanced, you know, that attracts. That's why when I'm in the gym and I'm working out, I just want to do my curls. Just let me do my fucking curls, dude. So funny. They come over and try to look cool. Okay, I'm just doing an arm curl. Back off, dude. All species rely on recombination process. Invisible offer, because remember, Source Creator is always invisibly offering you divine light. And those that step before you are divine, and can you see them as divine? Or will you judge them? It's okay if you judge them, you got to own it. If you're going to judge and say, okay, go do your work after you sat with them. I've done this so many times on part of my initiations. It's part of my initiations, I tell people all the time. If I've been in a situation where I didn't handle it very well, I'll say to Spirit, I say, okay, Spirit, bring me that situation again. And sometimes it's with the same people and sometimes it's not, because I want to challenge myself to get over what I, if I was just, kind of pointed or rude to somebody because I'm so used to being abused and erased and ignored. Yeah, so fun. Yeah, yeah, fuck the fidgeting. You're gonna fidget. Tell people. When you go on dates, yeah, I fidget. Got a problem with that? There's the door. I'm working with a lot of energy here. I'm gonna fucking fidget. And if I get up and do some squats, or if I gotta get up and do some crunches, I'm gonna fucking crunch. Too funny. What was I talking about, Spirit? The quantum field is always talking with you. Okay, some books, if those of you that want to learn more about the quantum omnipresent field, which is what I talk about, remember that it's getting more purified, rarefied light out there, and it's going to be talking back with you. A person that has written a really great books about is Greg Braden. He's one of the writers on the quantum field, and that is the source field. That's Source Creator, that's Mother, Father, God. That's working for it, and that's all filled with light, and you can use that to manifest and to heal and do all the things you want to do. Again, if you're doing it in negativity, if you're doing it for selfishness and all those things, then of course be karmic, right? From here on out, it's either enlightened, evolutionary, or it's karmic. Karmic means you don't want to step off those patterns, and it's okay. Give yourself that acknowledgement. You have to do your 3 A's. I'm acknowledging this is really a pain in my ass. I can't get rid of this addiction, or whatever that might be. Then own it. You have to do your 3 A's. Without owning it, you will not change it. Then you can recode it. You can rewrite that code in your DNA. You can rewrite that code in your behavioral pattern. You can rewrite that code in your mental pattern. You can rewrite that code in your spiritual or sexual pattern. They're all patterns. They're just a behavior. And it's all about your self-perception. So again, start loving yourself. Start giving yourself self-perception. Here's just an affirmation. I am the active participant of light. Remember, we want you to be participatory because the field is always participating with you. It's always coming back. I am an active light participant in presence and Source Creator. I am a valuable part of this journey. My vessel is light, and all that I am connected with is light. I am self-combining myself into higher vibrational fields through my knowing. I know thyself. I am that I am. And my being is becoming. Your being is always becoming. You're always becoming new. You're reclining yourself every new. So then call it in as higher vibrational. No, this is gonna be a light cycle now. I'm not gonna do any more negativity, right? Like, no, fuck the abuse. I'm not sure why people don't understand about abuse. Abuse is fucking abuse. And why would you have them back? Trust me, I've been there. Been there so much. Because so many people are just like really good at manipulating a lot, right? No, I'm not a liar. I'm not a manipulator. Because they're doing magic behind the fucking door. Yeah, that's why. Okay, so here we want to talk about adaptation. And we'll go. I want to do a channel for everybody. Why, without the recombination of what has been called genetic inheritance, is a misnomer. Your 3D mind has taken on beliefs that are just imprints in the field. They're just beliefs in the imprints in the field. It's not real. It's not true. It's all illusion. If somebody in your family says, if somebody says heart disease runs in our family, if somebody says everybody in our family has, I don't know, one left foot that went sideways, that we just end up taking those things on, but it's not. Those are just illusions. That's yours, not mine. Those people are sitting in a different dimension than you are. The house I was brought up in was in a completely different dimension than the mother and the father and the children. And I was operating at a completely different, it was like dysfunction. I said to Spirit the other day, I said, you're not going to drop me into the middle of dysfunction anymore. I know I can fix anything, and I know I can make nothing from something, or nothing. I know that I'm, make lemonade from lemons. I'm so sick of fucking cliches. I know who I am as a fucking manifestor and a creator and a transmuter. I know who I am with Source Creator. No more dysfunction, it's just a little starseed self being in the middle of what I was in the middle of. It's just unbelievable. I can't believe I'm alive. There is so much in your fields that is waiting for you to connect with it and participate with it. You're always connecting, you are always communicating with the energetic fields. You are always connecting with what is spirit. It is always seen and unseen. Those that show up in form, right? I'm a form of an earth angel. I'm a form of fairy. I'm a form of celestials. I'm a form of alien. I'm a form of humanoid. I'm a form of all the things that are unseen that I just let people know that's there, right? I'm a reader of that. I'm an interfacer with God, source, creating, present field. I'm an omnipresent interfacer conduit for Gaia. If I go somewhere and I feel something on the land, I'll talk about it. It has to be expressed. I'm helping Gaia heal those energies. It's always, always active. It never shuts off. 24/7, there is always communication vibrationally. Always, 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 always. We're never really asleep. Our dream time is where we kind of reset ourselves, and that's when you can do your highest intentions to just, create a youthfulness for yourself, because we want to start aging backwards, right? We don't want to age, as we've been taught and told. And we want to get out of those entrainment of entropy where everybody gets dementia in your family. No, it doesn't have to be that way. Right? Just to let you know, this experience that is truth, because I'm a healer, and when people come to me for their healings, I can read the Akash and I can read the woundings of certain. There was, I'll give you two examples. I've talked about this. Somebody that has, for instance, their certain type of cancer. That certain type of cancer was directly related to a wound that did not get expressed, that did not get cleared karmically, and that turned into a more abrasive, aggressive cancer that eventually took their life. And so I was sent to this person to assist in the healing process, and assisted that person to come to face that wound that was originally created by that cancer, and chose not to do that. And so that was their choice. And so in my conversation with Jesus, in that conversation, I said, well, what more could I have done? And Jesus said, this is what's so important. I want to get this forward to everybody, and why you go through initiations, and why you're chosen for being teachers, healers, and leaders, and why you need to stay out of everybody's lane, and why there is a divine soul reason, there's soul growth, there's so much going on with source in every soul. It's up to nobody to deny anyone else's fate and judge it on any way. Jesus said to me, I've given everything that I could give for the person to take full opportunity and full advantage of the light that I had given, for them to face that wound that was meant to be faced, to start transmuting that cancer. If they had done it sooner, that would have been transmuted, which is what I was sent there for. I was sent there to assist them in transmuting that cancer. But they chose not to 3A. They didn't choose 3A. And so it was up to, that was left, I felt kind of balanced, because, well, here I am, I'm left with the outcome, and now I've got to transmute that pain, right? Because as a healer, that's what we do. So I transmuted what I could in the understanding that part of that experience was a wound that was to me. And so that was part of my healing. I played 2 or 3 roles in that situation with, soul partner, that is no longer here, and everybody's forgiven, and the timelines are cleared. And the other person that was also involved, their disease, their wound, was a manifestation of them not facing the exact same wound that was done to me. They took their wounds on in the different areas that they chose to repress. So this is what's really important I want to get this point, if you take nothing away from today, that adaptation is everything. It's either a negative, a neutral, or you're going to move it into a positive. Adaptation is you're adapting to negative stories, beliefs, patterns, and the refusal to heal. And that's these 2 stories I'm telling you about. Each of them took on their disease. Each of them took on their illness to the very same degree of the wounding that it hit me. And I was assisted in transmuting to face it and doing the 3As with it. So, second part to this, so important, write it down. Adaptation is those two diseases and those two illnesses, they could, in most households, if you go to most households and if you talk to most people, they would just say, oh, it's genetic, it's inheritance. No, it isn't. That was from the very wounding from this lifetime. You didn't have to carry on that cancer to death. You didn't have to carry on that disease until it took you into, infirmity. They were this timeline wounds. I know that because I'm a healer. I see the Akash. So it's very, very key. When people are talking about it and genetic things, no, don't accept that into your belief patterns. Don't accept that into your reality. Because it's choice, So when people come forward to me and they say, oh, I have this, it's hereditary, that's a choice. You've taken that on as a choice. No, it's not. That's not my story. I'm not in the consciousness they were. The wounds were done to me and I forgave it, but I was there as the healer. I was that healer for them to say, can we so that you don't have to progress in your cancer? Because the core result, the core wounding, right? There is always the very center. There's always that divine relationship. I'm the only one that teaches it. And if that divine relationship is not fused and harmonized, manifest in however that disease or that darkness or that shadow is, the soul fragments, right? Those soul fragments were created in this timeline. So disease was not hereditary. It was not genetic. It was a manifested illness from their not healing. And that's a fact. So just know that. Set that as a truth. I will not take on genetic or inherited, whatever conversations go on in your reality. They're all over the place. Anytime you hear those things, just clear it. Because those are imprints in the field, right? That's why we want to set higher vibration imprints and intelligence for the children. No, you're not taking on anything genetic or inherited. They're totally different species. You're a totally different DNA. You live in a totally different consciousness. You're experiencing a totally different earth. And this is where 3D doctors, 3D education, 3D church and state aren't up to speed. Because they're just operating from, this is our church and rule state. This is our state about medicine, and this is how it is. No, it isn't. Somebody that's a healer can go into anybody that's sitting in a cancer ward, and I can say where that wound is and where they took it on. How did they take it on? Did they take it on from another parent's perspective? Some children will do that. Some children will have cancer at an early age because they're taking on the wound from their parent, and their parent's supposed to learn from the cancer by giving them compassion and unconditional love. That's how profound children are. But people aren't that multidimensional. People are just saying, get on as why would God do this? And why would this happen? They would take it on like that. But no, the soul blueprint is profound, and you're given everything as a gift. You're given a blessing. And are you being taught, trained, and allowed to see everything as a blessing in the way? And what lessons are coming out from it? If you lose everything and go into homelessness, what's the lesson out of that? Because you had so many cycles where you were taking from everybody and you gave nothing. So experience a cycle where you have nothing. You have to have these cycles. You're not getting the fucking lessons. The elite have not been getting the fucking lessons. There's been zero sharing of the elites to the collective of the poor. And there's going to be shaking. Watch it. And the very poor, bad leaders, they're to be shaken up. Watch it. Source has given the profound, God hath spoken. Whether people believe me or not, I don't give a fuck. It's going to happen anyways, and watch it. It always does. It will unfold. Things are coming down now. The elites will not run this planet. They never did, and they never will. There has to be sharing. The poverty is unnecessary. The disease is unnecessary. We need higher vibrational light teachings and get the light workers out there. There is so much in your fields, and it's constantly being activated all the time. It's up to you to, again, sit in silence and unpack it. There is a quantum metatronic essence and a structure to everything. So write that down, quantum metatronic essence structure. So that, remember I always talk about the sacred geometry. When I write things down, when I talk about my pods, I see them in fives, right? It's like a little, see that little circle with 5 things there? There's a reason why. There's a reason why sacred geometry. And it's the fractal crystal, right? And when it's all put together, it's a dodecahedron. Your soul is a dodecahedron. What part of that facet of the dodecahedron is needing to be rebalanced? So my soul dodeca out of fucking balance, and I connect with the multiverse. So that's a big thing. So if I don't get balance, it's a big fucking thing for the multiverse. There were so many facets out of whack. So you better bet there's going to be an elastic rubber band effect, and it's going to come back into balance, because it just has to. I mean, who the fuck is anybody to put their finger on me and say what I'm going to do and who I'm going to be? What the fuck is handling? Like, what the hell? Where's the mentality? I let that go, Spirit. Thank you. Mental dementia or any other so-called inherited diseases are misunderstood. It is simply the adaptation to lower vibrational, no access of light, misalignment, misguidance, misinformation, and simply zero knowledge about who you are, what you exist within you. Every single human on this planet is godliness, and there is a quantum electronic essence structure. Each of us come with Merkabas. Each of us come with healing teams. Each of us come with a higher self. There's no reason that we had to, I gave you those two examples of those two people I was set before. Their cancers that took their life were their disease of that wound that they did towards me. And I was there to assist them in alchemizing it, which I did. I did my teams. I align as a healer. What's my part in this transaction? And every day that I move forward, my work, what's my part in this transaction? What's my part in this transaction? Sometimes Spirit will say, just watch. You're just here to watch. Have a good time. Get the popcorn, right? It's a lot of karma. It's a lot of holding right now. Just get your popcorn and sit down, right? Go do your hair. There's a lot of black magic coming back to people, and I'm not doing nothing about it. It's 10 years of decades where you had me on the floor where I had to heal every day from your fucking sacrificing. Like anybody has a right to, anyways. Keep going. Big pharma and leaders would like you to think there are illnesses and diseases that are simply inherited or genetic, and that is a wrong piece of influence. Don't listen to those lower vibrational influences wanting to drop and surrender your health and your divinity and your godliness to lower vibrational genetic diseases. No, not at all. It is adaptation. You're adapting to lower vibrational mindset. You're adapting to lower vibrational darkies in your dark environment, and you're choosing to go that way, and you don't have to. There is and always activations going on in the brain because it is 24/7 sensory perception. Even as you're sleeping, your brain is still sensing and taking in information. You don't think it is, but it is. That's why when I say, when you go to bed at night, do your healing session. If you want to book a healing session with me or donate, please do so. My thing are always in the thing. My PayPal, I was reading this other sentence up here, and I wonder if that's my brilliant speech. The thing is in the thing. The brain picture. Okay, I want to do the brain picture. See, that's where me being high function, I'm reading 3 sentences. I want to figure out what I want to talk about. The occipital lobe is being activated. The parietal lobe is being activated because these are all aspects of the brain that assist us in processing the higher vibrational light information. Remember, when you get those downloads, it goes into the field and into the brain. You have to pull that from the field, but it has to be processed through your brain. As I said, if you were talking about a pyramid that 5D or a light ship that just manifests from your consciousness, it's a different 3D brain thought, because you 3D brain thing as well. I've got to get the metal, and then I've got to put it together with a welding rod, and then I've got to do this, and I've got to do that. That's how you build your light ship. No. 5D, higher vibrational conceptual mind thought. That's where star seeds and higher vibrational high functionings are really needed on this planet. We got to step up. We got to start making new things. It's all going to be about healing and being higher vibrationally conceptual. Conceptual is that higher vibrational information that might not make sense because we haven't been taught about consciousness. Consciousness is everything, and consciousness is what? How you process and how you understand and how you inherit who you are as a soul and light. That's conscious. I can understand high conceptual things. A person might not understand it, might not get it. That's why I've been attacked for so very long. Because I speak what I speak, I say what I say what I see. It doesn't mean that it's your reality, but this is my reality. So who the fuck are you to say I don't belong in my reality? Well, it's my fucking reality. I've trained myself to see things. So why can't I say what I see? Why can't I see what I say? So who anybody to put a rap on me to say I'm not accepted because for the way I speak of God? Well, this is the way it should have always been, but it's been suppressed and taken from us, and this is why the humanity is in the state that it is. Where's divine feminine? Right? Where's divine feminine on the planet? Where is divine feminine on the planet? Where is her role model speech? Where is she showing children that yes, there's higher vibrational aptitudes, there's higher vibrational creativity. It doesn't matter what the outside world says about you. You can break free and you can get up 1,000 times if you have to. Get up, get up, get up. Keep getting up and keep going. Before you reach out, go within. Never, ever give up. Because even if it seems like a lost cause, God's going to come through and God's going to make shit happen. Because you believe in yourself to say, this isn't okay. Abuse is never fucking okay. Cult, coven, secret society, governmental abuse is not okay. If you see it, if you know of it, go to the authorities and speak of it. Everybody has karma coming. It's either good, positive, or negative. Not speaking out on abuse when you know it's happening, when you know somebody's being stolen from and raped from, and they're being suppressed and depressed, speak out. You're collective. That's challenging lower adaptation. We don't have to be adapted to control bodies that say our reality of music has to look like this. Our reality of entertainment has to look like industry. It's not a fucking industry. Let's state this right now as a 5D rule because this is very profound. I got this the other night. 5D, creative experience of who we are as source, of who we are as light, manifesting in higher vibrational intelligences every moment, every moment. It creates that spark within the synapses and it creates new wiring. Everything that we are as a creative being, blessed by the heavens, breathed by the heavens, seated by the heavens. How is any of this an industry? We have to release the lower adaptations because we're not. And we never have been and we never were. And that's why I was shown that comment from whatever leader that was. Whatever group or sect or secret society or whatever that person was that says, I want her gone, she's bad for business. Because that's how they see humanity. That's how they see church and state. It's a business. Is that the divine creative passion of who you are? Those that have listened to my very first radio, I do what I do and I am what I am and I say what I say because it's who I am. I'm not going to apologize and I'm not going to be small for anyone. I know things, I see things. I know who I am within the universe. I know what I can transmute. I know what I can alchemy. I know what I can create. And I break every aspect of conformity. And I'm meant to. I'm a crystal child. Crystals come in and they see the density and they break it up. It has to be. So what part of our most divine aspect that makes us who we are? There's nobody that can create like I do. There's nobody that creates the energy I do. There's nobody that creates the codes I do. There's nobody that creates the... I get up and I just got to teach because I got to teach. I just got to be in front of people because I got to be in front of people. There's a magnetic experience there and it's source driven and it's called the Christ consciousness. It's an essence. That's what I just said a second ago. Write it down. It's very important. This is what the Christ consciousness is. That's how people feel me when I walk by them. It's called the Metatronic quantum essence or the quantum Metatronic essence. And it's a code. And the more you work with spirit in your alignment, what is alignment again? And relationship. I have a relationship with all spirit. My Christ consciousness is through the roof. When I walk, people feel it. When I speak, it's changed. I'm ranked because I honor all that is God and the divine. And I'm human, I have to heal too. But why would we ever, what I've just said, in the highest vibration, because we've never been taught, told, or shown, so be okay and forgive yourself. But your creative expression is everything to creation. And let it never be an industry. Your life force is the most beautiful magnetic thing to create and honor and play and have pleasure with in respectful and honoring and mature communicative ways. Because you're a divine being of God and God's blessed you that way. Let it never be an industry and never let it be sold, trafficked, or bid or bet against. You are very sacred. And when you start working in harmony of everything that I teach, people feel you when you walk by because your soul is really that big. And that's why we got to get used to learning how to work with our energy because it's going to accelerate. We're going to start taking on energy. You're going to start taking on more soul fragments that were wounded, and it's going to be transmuted into light. And what does that mean? I'm getting goosebumps everywhere. It means you're going to get goosebumps a lot. You want to move the energy. You want to know how to be a Reiki specialist for yourself, only yourself, until you want to get trained, healed, and then have spirit ask you in that participation, what is my part in this transaction? And you can say, well, do some Reiki on them. Send some light to the children. That's what I do every day. I send light and I send prayers and I work with light every day. So don't take on lower adaptations just because everybody else is talking about it. That's where their consciousness is at. It doesn't have to be yours is. And don't ever allow anything of your creative expression to be any sort of an industry because it isn't. That's how they might see it, but that's not how you can create with it. Something new, you're creating new templates. And it's never been done before. So let it people, let it rock people. Because 5D ain't 3D. It's basic respect for who we are as divine creative beings, and we are infinite. It ain't no industry. So let's start putting some respect on spirit. Okay, so that's adaptation. I hope y'all liked it. Did you like it? Did you like it? I'm very happy today. I have lots of energy today. Lots of big shifts that I had. So any donations, Ascension sessions that you would like to book them. We're going to do a quick little 10-minute channel here for anybody that wants to just tune in and just center within your hearts. Anybody that has a message coming through from their guides or their celestial teams, I'll take that on as a message. Just let me put my little pens away. My little pens. I love the little Christmas fireplace. It's my favorite time of year. Christmas rocks. Back when I had a house. I laugh now. Back when I had a house. I used to decorate November 1st. As soon as Halloween was over, the kids loved Halloween. I hate Halloween. As soon as Halloween was over, I was like, okay, Christmas. 52,000 boxes from the garage. Can't wait to get those little Santas out. I'm having a great hair day. I love my hair. My hair is so long, it's like down to the bottom of my back. I had a really pretty hair day the other day. I love everybody. I love you all. I love you. I love you. Okay, let's connect. Just have an intention. Let's connect with Spirit. Is there anything that Spirit would like our teams to know? We're going to connect with the Divine Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Mother, and thank you, Holy Father. Thank you. I love you too. So just clear and cleanse all any energies. I'm going to pick out any energies that are in the field that need to be cleared, right? If it's just sitting in your solar plexus or in your chakras, so just sit up and just call light to your chakras, call light to your fields. You have lots of fields. You have about 7 fields that are in your 8-foot field. Everybody has an 8-foot aura field, and that has 7 different fields in it, up to 8. And these fields hold different wounds. They hold different densities. They hold sometimes little fractures where there's been a lot of trauma or there's been something that needs to be healed. There's also cords and things. And so that's what I talk about when I talk about, these clearings and healings. I teach you how to pay attention to what's going on in your field. And if you clear your field twice a day, you're not going to have the abundance of shit, right? You want to clear out the shit. It's not your shit. You're just taking it on because you got lots of light and you can carry it, right? Where I'm going to be the purveyor for all star seeds that want to learn how to work with their bodies, that want to learn how to create at the highest aptitude because they're here to be leaders. Star seeds are here to be leaders. So let's pick ourselves up, okay? We're not going to take on old human beliefs about, the degradation of disease and that kind of stuff. No, we're fucking star seeds. We're here to start a new world, and we're starting a new world, and it begins now. So just call light to your bodies, call light to your cells, just by calling light and go in circular motion, clearing out your aura, clearing out your aura, clearing out your aura. You're clearing out the pillar of light that runs along your spine. You're going to send light to all your chakras with a full body breath. A full body breath, your whole cavity lifts up. Raise yourself up to the heavens, call in the light, call in the light. Thank you, Holy Spirit. You're calling in your higher self. You're calling in your healing teams to assist you in bathing and cleansing on any light, energies, any comfort that needs to be brought to your fields. And just call it in. I'm calling in my healing teams. I give my highest healing teams permissions to clear and cleanse anything that might need to be cleared or cleansed. They know or unknowingly. Please have all energies that are disruptive, distracting, chaotic. Leave them now, now, now. All things that are not meant to be in my field, leave now, now, now. And that third now should be very certain, right? No, you're not allowed on my field. And then take a full body breath. And then ground. You're going to call all your soul fragments in. You're going to call all your energies in. And those that are always feeling anxious and anxiety, or anybody that feels, nervous and agitated, all because you're probably not working with your fields and you've got a lot of energy. So we're just calling all your soul fragments. And then we want you to ground. Grounding means you have a pillar of light that runs along your pillars of your spine, all your chakras. And we want to see this pillar of light go into the earth. And just visualize it. Just visualize the cord going into the earth. And with intention and affirmation, you say, I am now grounded. And you can say, I am now grounded 5 times. When you feel yourself really anxiety, if you're around a lot of people and you feel anxiety a lot around people, go to the grounding. Grounding cord is everything. And then you won't need pharmaceuticals anymore. It's just a matter of working with your bodies because you're highly sensitive to energy. You don't have to hide. You don't spiral around in things that you feel uncertain about. It's always about your self-perception. No, you're a starseed, claim it. I'm a starseed. I'm not going to give way to lower vibrational beliefs. And I'm going to learn how to work with my body. I'm going to learn how to work with my light. I'm going to learn how to work with my 8-foot field, because it's everything. And I'm going to manifest really great things with my light. I'm going to manifest grace with my life force. And we're just going to do a quick little channel. Galactic Federations and the systems of light. We've got a third eye activation going on. So many of you will be clearing your third eye. You can do this in your evening healing sessions. If you want to book a session, book it with me. So there's going to be some third eye things waking up, which means you're going to have more vivid dreams. You're going to remember people that are before you not as a person or the name that they sit within, but as soul partners that you've had other lifetimes with. And you're going to be seeing celestial families and your celestial friends. Shina mai dedicate taina makata aina makata kesia nama a esia na a sia na kata e ta aisia shana ma a in a mai ki a ma a sia na kata a e a ina makata a sia na makata a. So there's some of you that are on the line right now that are going through very tumultuous times, and you're meant to ride this roller coaster out. You're meant to go within and allow yourself to understand that you are the maker of solid foundation. There are tumultuous times because things need to be shaken out, and you need to sit down in your reflection time and sort out where were things in the past, how did I allow things to go as I was, expressing, and remember your 3 E's, do your ascension path work, and then you can understand why you're going through tumultuous time. It has to be. Your soul is aching for you to be a higher vibrational being. Your soul is aching you to heal what you've chosen to deny and not look at. So that's why the tumultuous times happen, is because we are being accelerated into new timelines, and they are faster, which means your body will have to adjust. Your body is matter. Your body adjusts to everything in the environment. But the caveat that we want you to remember, because you're a master, you are the manifester of the environment, not the environment of you. So don't take on what's in the environment. You're just there to navigate through it. It doesn't become you. You are the pulsating energy. You are the pulsating light. Okay, and that's where most of the collective, and that's why some people end up living, very, challenging lives, because again, for a starseed, it's so very difficult to have, so much darkness and negativity. Any messages, Holy Spirit? Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Says Commander Ashtar, my lovely Commander Ashtar. I love Commander Ashtar. I love you, Commander Ashtar. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you. We are in your space above the planet. We are watching it unfolds upon your planet Earth, and just you accepting yourself within peace, knowing that you have the vibration of peace within you in every moment. It can assist in the peace on the planet. So we ask that you move about in just creating affirmations and knowingness of being the center of peace within your own reality. Therefore, it's less tumultuous for you, because intend peace, then so too it will be. And it sends vibrations of peace around the world, because others will be looking to your seeds to set the vibrational tone, to set the vibrational wisdoms and informations about what is possible when you are understanding your body and your light fields. So they're saying that there's nothing that they don't have access to or their information of. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you. Andromedans, Andromedans are saying there's going to be much come forward in the regards to healing and use consciousness with regards to technology, and we're very excited to be a part of that, the healing technology, for directly related with the intentional foundation of consciousness and the intention of consciousness to assist in our healing modalities with electronics and technology. So excited about that, and they'll probably be a part of some of those explorations. The sea people are telling you things, or the sea is talking to you, the oceans are talking with you, and what does the ocean say? So these are very pivotal times to, again, send light and peace and health to the oceans. The oceans supply all of our water on the planet. It's very important we take care of our oceans. The oceans are filled with the most conscious, highest conscience, the whales, and they hold so much for the human collective. It's very, very important that we pay attention to our life force, our life on the planet, our nature. So just every day in your healing sessions, just check in a few times a day and just light to the animals, send light to the nature, send light to the planet, and just that in and of itself aligns you with the highest vibrational reality, right? And then just allow the entropy to entropy and release those things that want to be released in entropy, right? Old friends that want to stay in old cycle patterns of karma, that is an entropy experience, so let them experience entropy. You're not to go on their entropy ride with them. Everybody has their divine free will and their soul's blueprint. I do soul blueprint readings as well. And that's everything I talk about is about soul blueprints, what you're here for, what you're here to manifest, and how you're here to be excited and create. We're so excited. So thank you, dear lighter ones. I love you so much. Any Ascension sessions you'd like to book, that would be great. Or any donations, I would love it. And I'm looking forward to co-creating with all of you in many ways for our 5D New World. And we thank you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and send peace and love to hugs and rainbow kisses.